Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Drop it.
Welcome back to another edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. We are in divisional round week already. We're coming off the wild card weekend where Ted got really cold and went 1-5. Swole went 3-3. Crazy weekend. They weren't great games either. It was
kind of a boring weekend.
It was, yeah, because there wasn't much to go off on that too. Just to recap a little bit, Smule had Houston correct. Ted had Baltimore correct. I had the Bills. That wasn't it. No, you had the Bills. I
had the Bills, yeah.
Yeah, not even close after that weird back end zone deal. You had the Eagles, and we both lost Tampa and Minnesota. The takeaway from the weekend probably has to be how much money did Sam Darnold lose? Which is, he had a great year. His team went 14-3. But you had a chance to win the 1 seed in Week 18, and then you played in the playoffs the week after, and you played your worst football, and you kind of look like Sam Darnold.
Yeah, it's tough to gauge. I mean, in a way, I feel bad, because I
do too. I feel bad. He seems like a nice guy, but that dude lost some serious money.
He did, and it's unfortunate. But I still think it's at the end of the day, the guy won 14 games, and that's really hard to do in the regular season, and you can't take that away. So, I tell you what, though, you see what Minnesota's going to do. They're going to ride with McCarthy, and if you do, GM now, because if Darnold goes elsewhere and let's just say he wins 10.
He's not going to.
Year, yeah, well, maybe. I don't know where he might go. But if Minnesota goes back and wins 6 games with McCarthy.
So somebody goes, well, it's like Baker. Baker won previous. Cleveland got rid of Baker. I don't know why. He won a playoff game for them.
Correct.
He got a weird helmet call from beating the Chiefs when they won the Super Bowl. The next game. Baker wasn't Sam Darnold before he got to his place. I think they're different people. I do.
I agree with that.
This is Sam's first success in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. And the thing with this, though, there's a lot of guys with this system in the NFL. If he's not in Minnesota next year, he needs to go to a McVay system, which is Stefanski, and Cleveland would be a great spot for him. I think he would excel there. Stefanski runs that offense.
Yeah.
But going to a Vegas or somebody, or a Tennessee.
But the Browns are handicapped, right, on paying him.
But, he's not going to get paid long term. I think he's going to have a short term. His best case scenario is a 2-year, $40 million deal. I think 2 weeks ago, he was looking at 4 years of $150. I think he lost that much money, Small. I really do.
Yeah, he could. I don't know. Giants gave Daniel Jones $40 million.
That wasn't a good decision, though.
Well, Trevor Lawrence got 50. That wasn't good either.
Fair, but those teams didn't have – the teams they were on didn't have a traded up for first-round quarterback they took 10th overall sitting behind him.
Yeah. Well, no, Minnesota.
I don't think he's going to be in Minnesota. I don't think he'll be in Minnesota.
I agree with you. I don't think he will be, and I think Minnesota is going to regret this decision.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Because I get it. Everyone, these GMs and everybody else, they fall in love with the new shiny, flashy toy,
Sure.
It doesn't work out. There's just one guy that does. Good luck. Good luck.
But with that said, though, the other side of the coin is, well, what good was this? 14 wins. We didn't win the division. We lost in the playoffs badly.
Yeah, but I mean, I just think the whole thing of like, I get you and I think, yeah, like Super Bowl bust type of stuff, but like as a fan, like you want your team in the playoffs point blank. And if you go from the Vikings, let's just say the next 3 years for a talking point, if they miss the playoffs, then this is 100% the wrong decision. You know, because that's not what you sign up for in this league, is to just miss the playoffs and you get a write-off on this young rookie contract because
they won 14-3. This wasn't a 10-7 make the playoffs. This is a 14-3 on the road deal. Yeah, no, it's
a great year. Like, I get it. It didn't end how you want. Guess what? It's only one team it's going to end how they want it to end, and it is really, really difficult. In the most difficult league to go do this, if your last name isn't Mahomes or Brady.
I'll disagree with you a little bit. I think a playoff win for Sam got him the job next year. I think compared to Mahomes and those guys, you got to win the Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl. I think the Vikings need to win a playoff game. So I think it was different for them there. I think if he wins last week, his job. I'm telling you, I think it was $100 million loss because he played so bad. I mean, he had 9 sacks, and
I don't.
They were not good sacks. Those are wrong.
No.
Get rid of the ball, dude. Get rid of the ball. Dude. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, he had a bad game. You seen go like pigs in the
He had a bad game.
He saw ghosts. He was seeing ghosts again.
Yep. He had a bad game at the wrong
time.
Because
he seemed like a good kid. Yep. He seemed like a really nice guy. His teammates, when you see somebody that loves him like that, teammates love him. Have you ever heard anybody say one good word about Russell Wilson from his teammates? Ever? Like, oh, that guy's the man. I loved being his teammate. One time, people were banging on the door for Sam Darnold this year. Justin Jefferson loves him. He's the best receiver in the league.
You're right.
That says a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll move on from there.
They're making this is a franchise decision that's going to last for a bare minimum of 5 years.
It's a big deal. Well, I mean,
for better or for worse,
deal is you have all the pieces there offensively. You have an amazing number 2 receiver in Addison. He's a stud. You had a home run there, and you have the best receiver in football.
Correct.
So if they decide to go with JJ, you have to utilize his rookie contract and win. But you're right. If they come back and miss the playoffs 2 years in a row, maybe they get 1 year off with it. But I'm with you. Maybe not. Like, you shouldn't have a huge drop off after 14 wins.
No.
It'll be interesting to see.
You shouldn't. No, I mean, not if you believe McCarthy's the next guy.
We know a lot of Vikings fans. It'd be interesting to be a fan of that team right now because they have a big ass decision this offseason. It'll be
it is. It's going to be interesting. It is.
And this is why the NFL is the best league. It's not even close. Correct. It's built-in soap opera. It's drama. I mean, you can't write a script like that. So
no.
Sure. But yeah, to go through it, you went 3-3 last week. I went 1-5. Disgusting. This is make or break time, man. This is for more than I can remember, I would say. It's a legacy year, especially in that AFC. Yeah, Lamar, it looks like he's going to win the MVP, man. It's going to cost me money. I thought I had Josh Allen in the bag for that. It's probably going to be Lamar, but you have Lamar and Josh Allen playing for the right to go after your legacy. The loser of that game, it doesn't even really matter. You have to win the next game, too, for both those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes has the Texans sitting there. And look, they got the quarterback pretty well last week. We can talk about that in a minute, but it is a legacy game for 2 quarterbacks this year, I would say. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. One of those guys needs to get to the Super Bowl. Period. Agreed? Where do you see that going? Let's just start there.
Yeah.
I have no idea, man. Tell me where I'm betting.
I am on the Bills.
You going Bills? So I wrote the Bills down too, just because they're going to point at home. And look, dude, Lamar has been different world lately. But the Bills have been the team all year with that. I just think McDermott can draw up a good enough plan to keep him in the pocket. If the Ravens win, I do not think it's going to be because of Lamar. I think it's because of Henry. That's what I think, is that they'll run the ball down their throat that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%.
I see like a 23-20 Bills win is what I see.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I haven't necessarily. I just think the wrong team's favored. I just think it's a complete disrespect here to Buffalo. To be honest,
that's fair.
I mean, what do they deserve? Why are they a home dog here? I just don't get the line. Whatever. I haven't looked much into it, but I was like, yeah, Buffalo should be like -1.5.
There you go. But with that said, it's like -1. They should be favored by a point at home.
Sure.
That's what I thought.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm not going to bet this very hard. I'm really excited to watch this football game. This
should be a great game.
Yeah. I mean, I have a huge moneyline parlay with the other 3 games. It's about +102, which is all the big favorites. I can't wait to watch this game. So it sounds like we're both on the Bills. Go Josh Allen. I just think that he's, he got rid of Stephon Diggs. This is kind of his time to let it rip, and we'll see.
Yeah.
I hope whichever team wins beats the Chiefs. Let's get there. I kind of feel like I feel like you're sitting on something here. You gonna go with the Texans?
Yeah.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, the line's.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. It's too big. I feel like I'm walking into it, to be honest. I really do. I feel like one of these. There's several big lines outside the Bills and Ravens. And this game, like, they just played in like week 15, 16, and the line was 3.5.
Yeah.
And now it's to 8.5. I mean, what am I missing? Did Kansas City get that much better? No. I mean, it's impossible to. And so, but the counterpoint is, I get it. This is crunch time. This is when Mahomes is Mahomes. But then again, they still don't get the margin. So I do. I think this is a close game, man. I really do. I'll take the Texans and the points. I don't know. One of the dogs got to cover.
I think Houston's playing there. I'm not a Houston fan. We've been through that a lot.
Yep.
I think they're playing their best ball of the year right now. I do think Kansas City's going to win. 8's too many. I think Kansas City did the same they did the whole year. They're going to win the football game. They don't care about winning by 3 touchdowns. They're not built to win by 3 touchdowns. They're built to win every game by 3 points. Find a way to win. I kind of see that again. Same type of deal. I see 23-20 again. Kansas City.
Yeah.
So I love Kansas City in teasers and moneyline plays. I just think 8's a little too much. If it was 6.5, I think I'd take Kansas City probably. I think 8's the right number. So I'm with you. I'll take Houston +8. We got a question from a listener here. How long will you give Mike Tomlin?
Right.
This is now 8 straight playoff losses. Marvin Lewis went 7 straight before he was fired. He was called a genius at the time. This is how deep do you want to get into this now?
I love this. I mean, it's a great question. So first and foremost,
it's a great question.
But you can't have it both ways, and that's the thing. I get why you're frustrated, like in the sense. But guess what, dude? You know how hard it is to make the playoffs year after year after year in the NFL. It's almost damn near impossible. I mean, it really is. So yeah, let him go. And then when you miss it for the next 5 straight years, you're going to be really pissed that you let him go. So what? I mean, which way is it though? Do you want that one great team in 15 years,
mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden a guy gets hurt in week 17, and it's like, well, that was for nothing. Like you got to just.
That's fair.
I mean, you have to understand, like, it's just super, super difficult. And what he is look at the Bengals. They didn't have any injuries this year. Look at that team. I mean, those guys couldn't do anything. Terrible.
So, all right. So I think I agree with you. I think so. Let me play the other side of the coin here and say this. Just let me go the other side on why I think you can see the side too.
Okay.
The other side of the coin is, man, we're still doing this. And sometimes he's a really, really good coach. This is a really good situation, but maybe you've maxed out. And it's just time for both sides to pick a new side. Because you're right. Do you want to go backwards and not make it? Because that is a risk. but also the goal is to win a championship. And if you guys decide that we're not going to win the big one again with him, and maybe he needs – if Mike Tomlin is let go tomorrow or they mutually agree, he has a job in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. 5 minutes. He's a good coach, but I do think that just like Andy Reid, he maxed out at Philly, and for whatever reason, it was that way, and he needed new scenery. Even before Mahomes got there, look what he was doing with Alex Smith there. He changed the Chiefs. So I see both sides of this coin. I'm with you, though. Just be careful of what you ask for there.
It's the NFL. You cannot.
It's the NFL. It's
you know how many look here. Okay, here's the thing I flip on people. People forget about this. The previous coach of the years, we have no one out there says that Kevin Stefanski can't coach. He is 2-time NFL coach of the year. The guy can't win a game because the roster stinks. You got Brian Daboll. How's he doing right now? Like, he was an NFL coach of the year. Like, these guys were actually NFL coaches of the year, and they're doing what?
Well, one guy let go of Baker.
Right. But it's super hard, though. The point being, like, it is so difficult to get to that level and maintain it, and to do that year in, year out says a lot.
He's never had a losing season.
That's incredible. Says a lot. That's so hard.
It's incredible.
And you have NFL. Just go look at the last 7-year NFL coach of years. You'll fall over. They're bad. They're bad.
You're not wrong. So it's a really good question because I'm not sure there's a right answer to it, though. It is. You're exactly right, though. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for, but also, even if Tomlin's like, hey, you know what, I'm ready for a new challenge, I think we would understand that. Like, yep, I get it. Sometimes it's just maxed out. Sure. Sometimes your brain gets wired some way and it's time for a new voice. I get all that too. I don't think there's a wrong answer in Pittsburgh. But be careful what you wish for. Yeah. Because you could be shitty for 10 years straight.
You better believe it.
You better believe that shit. Pig asks, what do you think about the Vrabel hire?
Real quick in this league.
Very quick. Pig said, what do you think about the Vrabel hire?
I think.
Why didn't you do it a year ago?
I like it. I mean.
I do too, but why didn't you do it a year ago?
Yeah. I
don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand the thing. But here, once again, like, it's the same thing. The Patriots roster sucks. Does it matter? No, it's not going to matter. So then he's going to look like this bad coach again, coach in general. But, like, is it just because you hired Mike Vrabel, does that mean you're going to go win 9 games? No, they're not. Sorry. So, once again, like, sometimes the coaching just go hire a guy with a name. He's not going to do anything. The roster's bad.
Well, I mean, you hired a different version of Belichick. He's a grinded out like that. So it must got so bad with Belichick and Kraft that he's like, get out of here. Because even Mayo is the same type of guy. Like, he's not going for this new offensive young mind. He hired the same guy twice in a row.
Right.
That's how bad it got with him, Bill, obviously. Yeah. What I think about it, it depends on Drake May. It's a quarterback league. The AFC has lots of really good young quarterbacks. You better be ready to go in the AFC. It's just a hard hill to climb. I mean, you have guys like Burrow who missed the playoffs this year. Bo Nix is a rookie. Then you got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes in the AFC. The AFC is hard.
CJ
Stroud, which I'm down on, but he's still playing. There's 8 teams left. The AFC is a gauntlet. So Drake May better be the guy. If I was a head coach, I'd be looking for the NFC. Again, and he can't get over the hill. So that's how hard it is to get over the hill in the AFC. If I was a head coach, I'd be looking to go to the NFC. It's hard. It's really hard.
It's hard. It is. It's just really hard.
Well, that's a lot of talk about no playoff ball, but that's good. So right now we're both on Houston. We're both on the Bills. Let's talk about the Lions and Washington real quick. I can't get in the right side of Washington this year. I think I've missed every time I bet on them, against them, I'm going to take the Lions here. I think they're getting healthy. Montgomery's back. They got Anzalone back in the middle on the back end. They got 2 more starters coming back in a week again, too. I just think this is where it's time for the wheels to come off. I see a blowout for the Lions.
Yeah.
I think so because I think they're the darlings right now. I can see you going that way. I just think it's time for Jaden to finally make a dumb pick late, trying to force the ball. I see the Lions 35-24. That's what I see.
I'm just going to take the Commanders here. I don't know.
You're probably right. I had missed on them the whole year. I've never gotten them right once.
I'll take him. I whiffed on him the first half of the season. Second half of the season, I was pretty spot on with him. But I don't know. I just feel like this weekend it just screams like it's one possession games a lot. And I don't know. I'll just take the points here. I think we'll know early. And if Detroit comes out and scores the first two possessions, it could be a long day for Washington trying to.
They have to score with them. Detroit's going to score points. Washington has to too, because Detroit's going to score. They're going to score. Yeah, I'm with you. So, all right, yeah, we'll see. Rams Philly, man. I was back and forth here, and I see a Philly win. I think 6 is too many points. Philly could also come out and just grind it down their throat and beat them by 30. I think it's either a close game, Philly covers, or Philly wins by 20. But I'm going to take the Rams here, +6.
Okay.
Tell me why I'm
wrong. This is my one favorite that I'm taking. I'm going to lay with Philly. I've just liked this Eagles team. I had him last week. I'll back him again. I just think they're good. They're so good on both sides of the ball.
Hurts is the reason I'm holding back because he cannot push the ball down the field right now. He's playing terrible.
Yeah, he's not playing great.
But their roster is so damn good.
Yeah, they're loaded. They're loaded. I think cross-country travel here, it's a weird type of week also for the Rams. Man, the way they it's kind of that weird thing. I got that. The way they celebrated because of everything going on with the fires and all that, it was like it kind of felt like, man, like that was like their moment. It felt like it seemed like they knew that was the season when it's like, all right, hey, we got it, guys, and we just go get the doors beat off of us this week. I don't know.
We'll see. Again, if Philly wins by 20, I will not be shocked.
Yeah,
but part of me just thinks that there's so many. They're so good. Stafford is so good situationally, and his receivers are so good that way that if they can score with them, we'll see. Are you gonna get 9 sacks against Philly? No chance on that line. There's 0 chance of that happening. So
no, absolutely, nope,
no way,
no
way. A follow-up question here. This year they're talking about allowing trades for a coach. So Pittsburgh's in a position to trade him to Tennessee, him meaning Tomlin to Tennessee for the number 1 pick. We're going to get Deion and Shedeur and free. Listen, Deion's not going to Pittsburgh. The Steelers are not a franchise that is trading all this stuff to get Shedeur. That's not happening. So
no.
If you said the Dallas Cowboys in here, now we're talking about a possibility that's happening. The
Correct.
Steelers do not operate in fantasy land.
No.
That's why they're relevant and that good. So back to what we're talking about, if they let him go, they're not willing to go backwards to take that kind of shot. Shedeur is a maybe prospect. I like him personally. He's not a guy you give up the Steelers are the Steelers for a reason because they don't do stuff like that. They're not going to do that.
I think Shedeur.
Not going to happen.
No, you don't do that. First and foremost, I don't care who it's for.
First of all, no coach is worth the number 1 pick. We got Sean Payton for the number 25 pick. It's a great trade. The number 25 pick. That's what it was.
I just named coaches of the year who won 4 games. No coach is ever worth any pick. Piss on him.
It's not.
It just
and Shedeur and Deion aren't coming to Pittsburgh. That's not what they're looking for. There's
and I'm high. I love Shedeur. I love
Shedeur. I actually like the Steelers. I like the Steelers, but there's fits. That is not a fit. Nothing about Deion and Shedeur gritty, Pittsburgh gritty. That's just different. So
yeah, the draft. I am excited for that. That's a long ways away, but man, it's gonna be
awesome. I can't wait for it. But
there'll be a lot of shakeups this year.
I do see a possibility of Shedeur coming into play and not getting drafted number 1. if Deion's in play for a job. This is not a huge quarterback draft, though. Like, again, Shedeur came back this year because he'd been the 7th quarterback at best off the board last year. So that's what we're talking about this year with these quarterbacks. All 6 quarterbacks last year were better prospects than everybody this year. And we like Shedeur.
Mm-hmm.
But again, think about that. So are you going to give up that much capital for a guy that would have been taken 7th off the board last year? Maybe.
Yeah, he wasn't as thought of then, but I would say probably like with what we saw this year from Shedeur, he would have been more sought after than Penix and McCarthy.
Those are 2 guys I didn't like.
Yeah,
I'm with you there. Those are the only 2 guys I didn't want last year. Those 2 guys. So no, that's. But again, to be fair to both those guys, the 2 guys we really didn't see this year though either. We saw a little bit of Penix and 0 of JJ. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, 0. Yeah, sure.
Is it fair to say that Caleb was the worst of the other 4? I think
no. So I'm a blind, I like blind resume weird stuff. And honestly, so Caleb's stats were just like so similar to CJ Stroud. It's so crazy, which you wouldn't think so.
Stats are one thing, but watching him situation at the end of games, he helped them lose ball games late by just shitting his bricks.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's bad coaching. He's a rookie. Like he doesn't like. If Sean Payton's his head coach, those things didn't happen because he takes control.
To an extent. Yeah, I just think that's a bad staff up there as a whole. Now, I would agree with you in terms of some things I didn't like a lot from Caleb, but I definitely think there's enough there, right? There's definitely enough talent there. You can definitely win games with him, but he definitely needs a better stat. Well, they need a better staff in place.
He's not the home run guy like Jaden Daniels is. The wrong guy went number 1. And you said it last year before the draft.
Yes.
Jaden Daniels is the guy, not Caleb. And that's
Correct.
not Caleb's fault. It's not his fault.
No. 100%.
The wrong guy went number 1, period.
Yep.
And it's very obvious right now.
Yeah. Yep.
So
one's still playing.
One is still shit. If he gets the Super Bowl, look out, man. That team. We got a lot to talk about. We got a nice little Berkwood contest coming here too. But before we get to all that and recap our picks here, why don't we go ahead and hear a word from our sponsors?
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. When energy meets precision, anything is possible.
I'm Carter Hawley, the Chief Energy Officer of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm full of energy on and off the court, but nothing gives me more energy than helping families find their dream home. And that's where Green Beret Realty comes in. They're more than just realtors. They're a team dedicated to getting things right for you and your family, just like we get it right on the court. Sometimes it takes a team to get the call right. And when you're buying a home, you want a team that makes all the right calls. That is Green Beret Realty. And here's the best part. When you buy or sell a home through Dan at Green Beret Realty and mention this ad, he'll make a donation to the We Will Collective, helping student athletes like me thrive on and off the court.
Green Beret Realty, because getting the call right means everything.
Welcome back to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. I'm Ted Hughes Small. We are in the divisional round. The season's flown by. I'd be remiss if we didn't recap the ass whooping that happened in Ames last night. And 2 guys that were ahead of the fold on hiring TJ before we hired Prom 9-10 years ago. All we do is push it back. But I think and things can change before March, obviously. But right now, I think I can honestly say Iowa State has the best program in the country right now. They're the best team
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And you can't really argue it. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Now, can that change? Have we peaked? Maybe. We'll see. But right now,
100%.
I mean, that was preseason number one team in the country. That was Hunter Dickinson was made a slow, stiff slob last night. And it was fun to be there. Me, my dad, and my brother were there. It was awesome atmosphere.
That's why he has no chance as a pro.
That's why he's still playing college basketball. Is our bigs made him look unathletic, like he couldn't be on the floor. Honestly,
yep, and that's why he'll be on the Iowa Wolves and not.
I'm not even sure about that, dude. He needs to go overseas, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
The reason we're different than last year too is our guards have gotten a year older, and they're just menaces. Like the ball's on the ground, they get it. But our bigs that he brought in this year, these 3 new bigs he brought in are freaks. Chatfield, Jackson, and Jefferson are game changers. I loved our guys last year, but they're not the same as like Watson, who's getting minutes now because Milan's hurt, and he gave great hustle minutes last night.
Yes, he did.
Kudos to him. He made the most of his minutes, so I love seeing him for him because he stayed. Yep. He's out of the rotation. He's in now because Milan's hurt. But the other 3 guys, the reason he's not playing is these 3 guys we brought in are freaks. They're absolutely freaks.
I mean, there's nothing not to like about Jefferson. He's
so athletic.
It's just a well-rounded team, as a whole. They know their roles, they buy into their roles, and it's very clear and evident.
And those 3 bigs all shoot well from the line, which we struggled with last year from our bigs, which is a big difference there too. So, somebody said, "Oh, if you don't make the Final Four, it's a bad season." I go, you know what? It probably is. Weird to say, it probably is. It's hard to do, but at least I mean, a 16 exit. We'll see. It's so hard. It's so hard, but.
But college basketball is the weird sport, though. Like
the weirdest,
and like because the craziest things happen. Like you got, it doesn't define your season. Yeah, you may be bummed, but guess what? You know how many times a 1 or 2 get knocked out? It's every single year they don't make that second weekend. It's every single year it happens.
Yeah, it is.
You get shipped to a weird city, a weird venue, a weird place, wherever. Like you just don't know. It's college, it is so hard anymore. It is a crapshoot to win that tournament. I mean, you got to get the luck of the draw. That's
why I think the year for this year is to somehow, if you win the Big 12 this year, outright, that's a huge deal because it's loaded this year again. I mean, Arizona, you have all these new schools coming in. If they win the Big 12 this year, it's a big deal. TJ's a home run. He's a stud. He's not going anywhere. He wants to be here, and it's just we're happy to have him. So. Had to say that coming on the break, but to recap a little bit, we are going to do for our Brookwood Farms pick 4 this week. We're calling it pick 4. So you pick all the games with the lines, not just the winners. You have to pick all the games with the lines, and we will post the lines. It is the Bills +1, Texans +8, Washington +8.5, and Philly -6. Those are Small's picks, also, by the way. If you want to pick those guys all 4. But we will post the lines. You got to pick all 4 games. If you win all 4 games, get them all right, you have a chance to win your Brookwood Farms gift card. Thanks again to Jake and those guys that are helping out. If you haven't been over to their shop, or a little store there, it's right across the street from High Five Comic and Cards. Small shop there. They're awesome people. They have a great product. So thanks again to Jake and those guys from Brookwood for becoming partners with us the back half of this season. Get your picks in. We will post more info on that online. Give your picks that way. Besides that, though, to recap a little bit, Small went Bills +1, Texans +8, Washington +8.5, Philly -6. I went Lions -8.5, Rams +6, Bills +1, and Houston +8. We should probably talk about the national championship game a little bit here. I kind of like Notre Dame getting 8, man. It's a lot of points.
Same.
I think they're going to win.
We both have futures on him.
And maybe that's why I think they're going to win. We have futures on them too. That's what I want. Can you imagine how obnoxious Sean Roberts is going to be if they win, though? So part of me is like, man, is it worth losing the future to not hear him?
I feel so bad for him because every team he cheers for, their season's over in week 1.
Bulls, Giants, and White Sox. Like, what? This is all he has.
I mean, if it's so funny, people don't even realize how often I just poke him during the off-season baseball. I'll just say random. I just say White Sox have been eliminated.
Second day of the season, the last I think 3 years in the group chat, you sent a text and over.
Yep.
And you're not wrong.
No, wrong.
Oh, that's why it's funny.
Yep. So hey, Notre Dame, dude, I love Fred. We liked him too.
He's got to cheer for.
Yep.
He really is. I do hope they win. I'm not a Ryan Day guy. He's got a little bit of Sirianni feel to me. With he just a little bit like
he's Urban Meyer all over again.
He says the wrong thing, but Urban Meyer knew when to. You know what I mean, though? It's just a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little Sirianni feel with Ryan Day to me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about him.
Yeah, he definitely feels like that ego entitled type of person.
Yeah.
I don't care for Day either.
But and
they got a hell of a football team.
They got a hell of a football team. Which is why how the hell did you lose to Michigan? Michigan's no good.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I hope you guys took our futures last week. As Small said, go ahead and grab Philly. They were plus 700 last week to win the whole thing and plus 300 to win the NFC. Those are about in half right now as I'm looking at them. So hopefully you listened to us on our futures last week because, as we said, every win, those get shrunk by a lot. I think Philly is now plus 380. They were plus 700 last week. That's what a week does, and it's going to keep shrinking. So if you like those, look at them now. It's probably a little too late. I would rather just you take the game at this point, probably. But we're looking at that. Other than that, man, again, we'll post our Brookwood Farm contest on our socials this week. Thanks again to Pig for producing the background.
Yep. Thanks, Pig.
You got anything else to add, bud?
Nope. Good luck.
All right, man. As always, I'm Teddy Small. Cash that ticket.